So you're thinking about studying in Canada? That's an amazing goal. But with new rules and student caps on the horizon, the old playbook just doesn't work anymore. In this explainer, we're going to build your blueprint for success so you can make the absolute smartest decisions right from the get-go. All right, let's dive in.
I mean, this quote really says it all, doesn't it? It captures that dream perfectly. Because studying in Canada, it's never just about getting a degree. For so many people, it's a huge strategic investment in their future. And yeah, it's often the very first step toward building a whole new life. But here's the reality check. With these new student caps coming in, the competition is getting fierce. It's not enough just to get an acceptance letter anymore. It's all about making the smartest choice from day one. So, the big question is, where do you even start? Well, it starts right here. You have to understand the single most important thing about Canada's education system. It's not one system at all. It's more like a giant puzzle, a provincial puzzle. And this really gets to the heart of it. You see, unlike a lot of countries that have one big federal education department, in Canada, the provinces run the show. They hold all the power. And what does that mean for you? It means tuition costs, health insurance rules, even student loans. They can change completely the second you cross from one province to another. But here's the good news. Even though the rules are different everywhere, the quality is not. To host international students, a school has to be a designated learning institution, or a DLI. Think of it like a federal stamp of approval. It ensures that no matter where you go, your education is going to be high quality and recognized all over the world. And that brings us to the real core of this whole thing, choosing your province. It isn't just about picking a nice city on a map. No, it is the single most important strategic decision you will make. It's going to impact everything, from your budget to your job prospects. Everything. Okay, let's start with Ontario. It's kind of the academic hub of Canada, right? The opportunities there are massive. Some of the best universities in the world. But the cost? Also massive. For popular programs, you're looking at $40,000, $50,000, even $60,000 a year. It's a classic high-cost, high-reward situation. And believe me, the costs don't just stop at tuition. A huge factor in Ontario is that you don't get public health care. You have to buy something called the University Health Insurance Plan, UHIP, which adds another mandatory cost to your budget every single year you're there. Okay, so that's the financial picture in a place like Ontario. But what if we looked somewhere else? Let's just hop over to the prairies and see how dramatically different your return on investment can be. Now, look at this. In a province like Alberta, if you're an eligible student, you get access to their public health coverage for free. Zero. That's not a small thing. That's hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars over the course of your degree that stays right in your pocket. And it's not just healthcare either. Your biggest expense after tuition is always going to be rent. This slide just shows the difference so clearly. In a major city like Calgary, your housing costs are way, way lower than in Toronto or Vancouver. It just means your student budget stretches so much farther. Okay, this table really pulls it all together. You can see the strategic trade-offs right here. So you've got Ontario, the place to be for finance and tech, but it comes with that high tuition and you have to pay for health insurance. Right next door, you've got British Columbia, amazing for green tech, but whoa, look at that rent, the highest in the country. Now, compare that to a place like Alberta or Manitoba. You get free healthcare, tuition is much lower, rent is way more affordable, and they have really strong job markets in things like energy and agritech. The bottom line, it's all about figuring out what balance of cost, lifestyle, and career opportunity is the right fit for you. Okay, so you've weighed the options, you've picked your province. Awesome. Now what? How do you actually get there? Let's quickly walk through the key steps to getting that all-important study permit. So before you even think about applying for the study permit itself, you need to get these 3 things lined up. First, obviously, your letter of acceptance, the LOA from your chosen DLI. Second, and this is a new one, you need a provincial attestation letter, or PAL. This basically proves the province has counted you in their student cap. And third, you have to show you've got the money, over $20,000 for living costs, plus enough to cover your entire first year of tuition. All right, now listen up, because your work is not done the second you land in Canada. These next 2 steps are absolutely critical. Your first stop inside the airport is the immigration desk. That is where you get your official physical study permit. Do not leave the airport without it. Then, one of your very first errands in your new city is to go to a Service Canada office and get your social insurance number, or SIN. That's the magic number that lets you legally work part-time. So you did it. You're in Canada, you've got your permit, you've got your SIN. But I have to be real with you. That was just part one. Now we need to talk about the realities on the ground, and more importantly, how you can strategize to win. And this chart, wow, this lays out the single biggest hurdle for students right now, the cost of living crisis. The difference in rent between a city like Vancouver or Toronto and a city like Calgary is it's huge. The reality for a lot of students is sharing a small room with other people or living in a basement apartment just to make ends meet. It's a serious financial pressure you absolutely have to plan for.
And this is the other major reality check you need to hear. A few years ago, getting a Canadian degree felt like a golden ticket to staying here permanently. That is simply not the case anymore. That guarantee? It's gone. Immigration rules are changing all the time, and they're becoming much more specific about the jobs and skills Canada is looking for. So with all that in mind, how do you play it smart? What's the winning strategy? Well, here are some really powerful ideas. Think about polytechnic colleges. They're super hands-on, career-focused, and often in smaller cities where rent is cheaper. Be strategic. Choose your program based on what the job market actually needs. Think healthcare. Think skilled trades. Learning French can literally open up completely different pathways to stay. And maybe the most important tip of all, talk to a professional immigration consultant before you lock in your final choice of major.
And that brings us to the final, most crucial takeaway. Choosing your program is no longer just an academic decision. It's an immigration decision. Every single choice you make, from the province you pick to the classes you take, is going to shape your future opportunities in Canada. So it all boils down to this one question. Are you just choosing a school, or are you strategically planning for your entire future?